Hello everybody. I hope all of you physically healthy and mentally happy. So we have been studying Dharma for many years. Make sure all of you fully understood why we have been studying Dharma. So we have been studying Dharma because not as our culture and tradition. So we have been studying Dharma for as a very important for this life, very important for next life, very important until we become a Buddha. Yeah, until we become a Buddha. For example, in our this life, what we do, usually we need to eat food and we need to take drink in order to survive, in order to live healthy life. Likewise, in order to live actual healthy life, in order to have healthy life for next life, in our daily life, we need to practice the 10 virtuous actions. Also, we need to stop to engage into the 10 non-virtuous actions. For example, when we eat unhealthy food, when we drink unhealthy drink, so then we notice, it makes us sick, bring a lot of sickness. Same way, the person, they always engage into negative action. Then slowly, the person's life become very unhealthy. So we need to eat, we need to drink in our daily life. Same way, in our daily life, we need to stop to engage into negative action. We try to engage into positive actions as much as we can. Then we can be very healthy, happy only this life, not only this life, we can be very happy, healthy in next life. Second, if we only take, healthy food and drink, it is not necessary we can be very healthy. Second, then we do a lot of exercise, different kinds of exercise. So through both taking healthy food and drink, do daily, exercise, then we can feel, we become much healthier. Same way, we stop, engage into negative action. We always try to engage into positive actions. At the same time, we need to practice the 3 mind trainings. Particularly, in our daily life, we must do, the meditation. So meditation is the practice to have a healthy mind. The meditation is the most important practice to purify the negative thoughts. So practicing the 3 mind trainings look like, we do daily exercise. Then through these 2 daily taking healthy food and drink, exercise, then we know we're going to be very healthy. But it doesn't mean we can be free from aging, sickness, and death. The very most healthy person have to go through death. Death will come for everybody. The most healthy person getting older, they have a aging. So we practice Dharma, but particularly we practice bodhicitta and emptiness in order to free from birth, aging, and death. Particularly, we practice the Dharma in order to free from the root, the primary cause of the samsara, which is ignorance. Therefore, I know all of you, I can say you are very busy. Sometimes you are totally free, but you try to be busy yourself. Therefore, we must have, every day we must have maybe 1 hour, maybe little less than 1 hour, practice the Dharma, which is you have been studying for many years. So when we practice Dharma, there must be a order, there must be a sequences. So all of us are very beginner. So we cannot, really practice very profound and very, high level of practices. So our practice must start from the foundation. The first step, so when you think about the Four Noble Truths, first Buddha taught the truth of the suffering, then origin of the suffering, then the cessation of the suffering and the cause of the suffering, cessation of the cause of the suffering. Then in order to achieve the cessation, cease the suffering, cease the cause of suffering, then we need to apply the path. The path always started with the impermanence. Among the Four Noble Truths, Buddha first taught impermanence, particularly death. Among the four seals, first, impermanent. All the conditioned phenomena subject to change, impermanence. Therefore, beginning of our daily meditation, first you contemplate on impermanence, death, your own death. Usually when we think about death, we can think, oh, he's going to die, she's going to die. We never think, oh, I'm going to die. Therefore, first, beginning of your daily practice, do meditation on impermanence and death. Then slowly you're going to remember impermanence and death for 24 hours in your mind. Then second, after I die, after my death, what will happen? If there's no next life, then we no need to worry about next life, whether we're going to go to hell, heaven, pure land. There's no need to worry. There must be. There's a next life. Then think about next life. So when you think about next life, then you need to contemplate on the law of causality, cause and effect. Cause and effect. Good cause always brings good effect. The bad cause, unhealthy cause, always brings unhealthy fruits. This is everybody aware. In the same way, when we think about our inner world, the positive minds bring positive fruits. The negative minds bring the negative effect. This one also be aware in our daily life. Therefore, you must think, all the negative karma, the negative actions bring negative consequences. The positive action bring positive consequences. Therefore, I always have to be very careful what I do, what I say, how I act. Then always try to act in the positively. Never try to do negative things. That means you are totally stopping the negative action. Always try to engage into positive action. At the same time, so we have so many negative karma we have accumulated for millions of years. If we stop negative action, still we have negative karma. We need to purify negative karma, negative action. Then, yes, positive action brings positive result. The negative action brings negative result. This is still, samsara. I'm samsara. I don't want to be in samsara. I don't want to, continuously born in samsara. Then you can reflect the cause of the suffering, the cause of the samsara, which is the negative karmas or positive karmas, the afflictive emotions, the ignorance. In order to free us from the ignorance, we need to realize emptiness. Emptiness, right? Emptiness or selflessness. Therefore, then maybe the fourth steps, you try to understand emptiness. Then you use, you apply a few important logics. If you don't know all the logics, simply you just think things around me exist, but not exist inherently. All the phenomena around me, include me, my body, my belongings, everything is empty of inherently existent. Therefore, the 7th point, remember, view all phenomena are like a dream. Then you meditate on emptiness for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. If you cannot meditate, then you use analytical meditation. Then meditate on emptiness. Then when you reflect on emptiness, you know nothing exists inherently. But still, I cannot be Buddha. Therefore, the 5th, next step, then you need to cultivate bodhicitta. So in order to cultivate bodhicitta, then first step before bodhicitta, you need to generate altruistic mind. Altruistic mind can be generated if we are able to generate great compassion. Great compassion can be generated, can be cultivated if we are able to accept, recognize all sentient beings are our dear one. Right? Then generate love and compassion, then altruistic mind, then bodhicitta. The bodhicitta, there's two different ways. You can generate bodhicitta through 7 cause and effect, or through exchanging self and others. Then, after you cultivate bodhicitta, then you engage, then you start your daily, life. Then, let's say, after you finish your meditation, you want to do prostration, you want to make offering, you want to recite mantra, you visualize Buddha, everything must practice within the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is look like heart in your any practices. Also, the reflect on emptiness or awareness of emptiness is look also another heart in your daily practice. All your daily practice, all your daily action, you must complete with the bodhicitta or with the emptiness. Then, even though some of you, some of you may be a teacher, when you teach, lesson to the students, you can teach your lesson to the student with the bodhicitta, with the emptiness. That means all your time in school, you are practicing bodhicitta. You are practicing the Mahayana path. Or some of you may are doctor, nurse, or work in the office. Also, you work within the bodhicitta, within the emptiness. That means, in a one way, you work in the office. In the other hand, at the same time, you're really practicing dharma, you're practicing bodhicitta. Practicing doesn't mean you need to hold a mala and just close your eyes and recite mantra. No, right? Therefore, make sure all of you try to apply the dharma knowledge you have in your daily life. Otherwise, when we have a dharma class, look like we are really practicing dharma. After finish our class, then we become very ordinary person. If we've been like that for whole life, then we never have any progress in our dharma practice. Therefore, you check yourself. Right? And also, whenever I interact someone, I always probe in my mind. Right? You analyze yourself. Am I become happier than last year? Am I become more compassionate than last year? Am I become more soft? My heart is become more soft or become more harder? You check. Therefore, remember in the 7th point, the 2 weakness are the principle. Mean you analyze yourself. Right? Therefore, make sure you apply the dharma knowledge in your daily life, particularly when you face a lot of difficulties, very difficult situation you are in. Still, you apply the dharma. Then the serious situation, very difficult situation, become very soft, becomes very light. Because when we say this is very serious problem, this is problem or not, it is in your mind. Therefore, must remember how to transform the what we call the negative things into the path. Right? Therefore, if you're able to change your mind, then there's not such a say. We can say this is most difficulties. It's a very problems. There's no such a there because everything depends on your minds. Right? Then last class, so we discussed the contaminated and uncontaminated, linked with the 10 bhumis. First, from 1st to 10, there are, and in the Mahayana vehicle, there are 10 bhumis. In the Hinayana vehicle or Hinayana Buddhist tradition, there are 8 grounds. Then how we can differentiate between the 10, within the 10 grounds? Because the Bodhisattva who abide on the first ground, he or she fully realizes emptiness directly through direct perception. The Bodhisattva who abide in the second ground, he or she also fully realize emptiness through direct perception. Then how we can differentiate first and second bhumi? That means within the ultimate bodhicitta is the whole. So the ultimate bodhicitta, we need to divide it into 10 levels. Right? That means 10 bodhisattva we can differentiate within the ultimate bodhicitta. First, second, 10, all the bhumis are ultimate bodhicitta. Let's say divide it. Then this is the nature of the 10 bhumis. All the 10 bhumis are ultimate bodhicitta. It can be contaminated and uncontaminated. Then the definition, the meaning of contaminated and uncontaminated is, according to Pasangika, the mind which is polluted, we can say polluted, that content with the imprints of ignorance or ignorance. If the mind is polluted by imprints of the ignorance or the ignorance, that means the mind is polluted mind. The mind is contaminated mind. The path, like even the bodhicitta, the mind which realized emptiness, the mind which is realized emptiness can be contaminated or uncontaminated. That means the mind which realizes emptiness is terminated by imprints of ignorance, then the mind which realizes emptiness is contaminated. The mind which realizes emptiness, which is free from the imprints of the ignorance or ignorance, that means the mind is uncontaminated. Therefore, until we become a Buddha, remember the Buddha Bhumi, until we reach to the Buddha Bhumi, there's only one mind which is uncontaminated, which is the Arya Bodhisattva, when they meditate on emptiness, during the meditative equipoise, the mind is totally uncontaminated, free from the ignorance or influence of ignorance. When the Bodhisattva arose from the meditative equipoise, then the wisdom, the gnosis, again become contaminated. When they meditate, become uncontaminated. When they arose from meditation session or when they arose from meditative equipoise, then the mind again become contaminated. That means until we become Buddha, the rest of the minds, even the bodhicitta, are contaminated by influence of ignorance. Not necessarily ignorance. Ignorance can contaminate the wisdom, the gnosis and bodhicitta until the 8 bhumis. When they reach to 8 bhumis, the bodhisattva eliminated the ignorance. So the ignorance cannot contaminate the gnosis and bodhicitta, right? So how we can differentiate the 10 bhumis? All of them ultimate bodhicitta. They can be contaminated, uncontaminated. Then all the bhumi we can differentiate based on the 4 qualities. 4 qualities mean first bhumi has a very unique 4 qualities, but he or she doesn't have the 4 quality which is have the bodhisattva who reached to the second bhumi. Make sure you understood, fully understand. Each of the bhumis has the unique 4 qualities. The bodhisattva who abide on the first bhumi, he or she has a 4 qualities, unique 4 qualities. He or she doesn't have the unique qualities which is have the second, the bodhisattva who reached to the second bhumi. Right? There's a 4 qualities. I hope all of you remember the 4 qualities. We go once more as a divisions. Although they are all equal, means all the 10 bhumis, they are all equal in being non-conceptual gnosis. The manner in which they are grown, such as the perfect joy, are defined as distinct groans in by the means of the flowing 4 features or 4 qualities or 4 features. The first feature among the 4, on the basis of progressive increasement, progressive increasement in the number of quality. Number 1. Number 2, the second distinctive feature pattern is to be increasing enhancement of the excellent power. Then feature number 3, the feature of excellence with respect to the perfections. Therefore, 10 perfection. The bodhisattva who abide the first bhumi, he or she very excellent in generosity, not so excellent in the practice of morality. I mean, excellent with the respect to the perfections. The 4th distinctive feature pertain to the enhancing fruitional effect means the second grown, being born as a monarch, the region over the 4 continents. This means the first, the Bodhisattva who abide at the first bhumi, he or she has a power to take a rebirth in this world. He or she doesn't have a power to take a rebirth other continents. Then when they reach to the second bhumi, then they got another unique features. So that means you can think, oh, first bhumi, second bhumi, 10 bhumi, we can differentiate based on the 4 unique features. Then the first grown, we start, last Saturday. This has 3 parts, explaining the first 5 groans. Chandrakirti going to explain first the 5 groans, which is perfect joy and so on. Second, explaining the 6 groan, very particular. First, explain first to 5th. Then we'll explain very particularly about the 6th groan. 6th groan, which is the manifest. Then third, explaining the remaining 4. Right? First, 1 to 5. The second, very profound explanation about the 6th groan. Then rest of the 4. Keep your mind. Then what are the 5, first 5 groans? First groan, perfect joy. Mean the Bodhisattva, first time he or she reached to the seeing path, he or she has a very great sense of joy. There's a many reasons. Reason number 1, first time the Bodhisattva sees emptiness through direct perception. Feels so joy. Second, he or she knew since today, I never ever going to fall over the Hinayan path. I will continuously progress and I will be Buddha very soon. They have a very joy. Also, he or she knew since today, I never born in the lower realm by afflict emotion, by karma. But Bodhisattva can take a rebirth in lower realm through the aspiration, through the commitments, not by karmas, not through afflict emotion. Therefore, they have a very such a joy. The second bhumi is the stillness. Stillness. The first Bodhisattva who abide on the first bhumi, he or she, the moral practice, the morality, the ethic is not that pure as Bodhisattva who abide second bhumi. Then when he or she reach to the second bhumi, the practice of morality is become very pure. Very pure. There's stillness. There's no any another kind of still about the moral. Then third ground we call luminous. Luminous. When he or she reach to the third bhumi, then he or she has a very unique kind of appearance. Everything look like kind of lightning around. Luminous. Then the fourth is ground is radiant. Radiant mean then then through the, from the Bodhisattva, from him or her, then they radiate great of lights. Then the fifth ground, hard to conquer. This means first five bhumis, then particularly explanation about the sixth bhumi, then explanation about the rest of the four bhumis, right? Four bhumis. Then within the first bhumi, the perfect joy, it has three parts. Brief definition of the ground and extensive presentation of the quality or the attributes and conclusion. So this is same thing for all the rest of the bhumi. First, brief definition of each of the ground. Definition. What does mean? Joy, perfect joy. Definition. Then more detailed explanation. Then the conclusion. The definition, now I think we have just chant the root text. The Bodhisattva was mind, falls under the compassion away, yearning to set free every transmigrating beings. So this is, I think, in the Mahayana tradition, when you do chanting, there's a lot of prayers, all different kinds of prayers. Because when you become very compassionate, when you became Bodhisattva, that means you look like you are very compassionate. Your mind is full of love and compassion others. Then when you see somebody very sick, you do a lot of prayers to have all kinds of medicine, all kinds of goodness for the sick patient. When you see someone has have a poverty, then you do a lot of prayer to have a food and clothes and shelter and so and so. When you hear the news this day, actually due to the technology, this day within just few minutes, you really can do a lot of prayers. Last month, there's a huge, killing in Afghanistan. When you hear the news, you can do a lot of prayers. You can do a lot of dedication. And also right now, many parts of India has a big flooding. When you hear many people, lost life, many people lost house and so, you can do dedication. You can do prayers because you are compassion person for everybody, right? Even though this moment, when you think about how this, whole human being on the planets, everybody very much scared about the COVID. That means we never know when, the COVID harm us. We never know when the COVID harm others. When you think this way, within a few minutes, you can do a lot of recitation, a lot of prayers, a lot of aspiration. You can do prayer. Oh, I wish all the medicine will complete free from free the COVID. Therefore, when you become very compassionate, then you can do a lot of prayers. Therefore, here through the intense dedication, we summon the Bhadra prayers. He abode in perfect joy. This is called the first ground. Right? First ground. This is the 4 lines is the lines about the definition. Then when you think about the first bhumi means he or she reach to the singing part. He has a very intensive prayers, dedication. That means all the dedication, all the prayers include into the two stanza, which I sent last time the copy. This is the definition. Then extensive presentation of the quality of attributes. Second, Chandrakirti will explain more precisely about the quality, the attributes of the first bhumi, the first ground. It has three parts. So you no need to remember all the three parts. First, the first quality of the obtaining the meaningful title. First quality, when you reach to the seeing path, so you got one attributes. You received, you name ultimate bodhisattva. Ultimate bodhisattva means you accomplish the ultimate bodhicitta, then your name can be, people can call you ultimate bodhisattva, the title. The quality of the obtaining a meaningful title, the verses, from that point, from the first bhumi on, that means since first bhumi all the way to until you become Buddha, the person name, we can name, we can give a title, ultimate bodhisattva. From that point on, having attained this ground, he is held by the name bodhisattva alone. I mean, since you see emptiness directly, only this reason, then your title can be ultimate bodhisattva. From that point on, the bodhisattva have entered the first ground, has attained the ultimate awakening mind. At this time, when he has transcended the stage of ordinary person, until the seeing path, we name ordinary beings or ordinary person. Since you reach to seeing path, since you reach to the first bhumi, your name can be Arya. Before ordinary person, then Arya. When he has transcended the state of ordinary person, he is held by the name ultimate bodhisattva alone. Then another second quality. For the quality such as being born in the lineage, right? Therefore, first is the definition. Then the first quality or the first attribute is the held by ultimate bodhicitta. The second quality, such as a being born in lineage, is also four. Within there's four qualities. First, he is born into the lineage of the Tathagata as well, right? He is born into the lineage of the Tathagata, or you can son of the Tathagata, the same meaning is same. Second quality attribute is he has utterly approached the three bonding factors. I hope you remember what are the three bonding factors. Then attributes or quality number 3, such as a bodhisattva uphold the state of the supreme joy and has the power to shake 100 worlds. That means you can see there's a 4 quality. First, born into lineage of the Tathagata as well. What does mean, born or lineage of the Tathagata? It doesn't mean he took a new, like a rebirth. It doesn't mean he just newborn baby. That means since, he or she realized emptiness directly through direct perception, then now it's 100% sure he or she will be Buddha, right? For example, before you go interview for like job, you need to study, you have a certificate. Based on the certificate, they will give you interview. When you receive the, like a job offer letter, that means now you're sure you have the job. That means since he or she realized emptiness directly based on, confession bodhicitta, then he or she is sure he or she will be Buddha. Therefore, born into the lineage of the Tathagata as well. The second quality, he has utterly approached the 3 bonding factors. What are the 3 bonding factors? Identity view, the tendency to doubt, grasping false view. Grasping false view mean as supreme as the inferior discipline and the conduct as the superiors. That means grasping, then we can say negative doubt or tendency of the doubt, then inferior discipline view as a superior. Then inferior discipline and conduct as inferior grasping false view, the supreme at inferior discipline, conduct as a superior, inferior discipline view as a superior conduct. This is one of the bonding. Mean first you have a self-grasping. Then self-grasping can be two types of self-grasping. One is the innate grasping. You are born with the innate grasping. Nobody taught you. Second, you can have another kinds of grasping, which is you learned from different religion or different culture, different environment. For example, when we were born, we are just simple human being. The second, when we study like tenets, when we study tenets, particularly the first school, then we thought, oh, there must be, kind of independent self. This view is not the innate. You got the view after you study that, one of the tenets. Or we were just born as a human. The second, when we study like Hinduism or study the Hindu tenets, then we learn there's an independent self, permanent self, singleness self. Then we believe this kind of belief is also named grasping. It is not innate. So this talking about the not innate grasping, then doubt. Then the inferior discipline view as a superior. Inferior conduct view as a superior. For example, it's talking about based on Buddhist and Hindu. In the Hindu tradition, you can see there are so many Hindu practitioners. They never wear any piece of clothes. No clothes. They thought this body, this physical body, is the basis of suffering. They really give a lot of torture the body. No clothes, no drink. Sometimes they jump in the fire. Sometimes you can say some practitioners the whole life they just stand up the hands. The hand cannot really bend. This kind of practice they thought is a superior. From Buddhist point of view, it's a very inferior. If you have this kind of belief, it's one of the bonding. That means you follow the wrong path. Such as he has utterly approached the three bonding factors. Such as Bodhisattva uphold the state of the supreme joy is the quality number 4. The next one, he has the power to shake 100 walls. This is another qualities. Now we study a little bit about the supreme joy. The Bodhisattvas on the first ground have entered come from lineage described above, obtaining the quality that result from this and becoming the free from the false, and that eliminated by this ground. As such as unique joy arises within him, and because experiences abundance of the perfect joy, such as Bodhisattva uphold the state, supreme joy, possessing the extraordinary perfect joy. This ground is known also the perfect joy. That means since he entered into the first bhumi, then he's sure he will become Buddha. Therefore, he has a very unique kinds of joy. Now remember the 4 qualities. Next, 3 qualities such as stepping onto the higher ground. Then there's another 3 qualities. That means day by day, the Bodhisattva practice go more higher and higher, stepping, others. Then I think the root text can be listen or not. Stepping on from one ground to another. He traveled perfectly to the higher ones. At that point, the path at all lower realms are blocked for him. That point, all grounds of ordinary person cease for him. Now you can see 3 qualities, right? First, since first bhumi, he or she, really, going forward, day by day going forward to the Buddhahood. Therefore, stepping on from one ground to another. For example, let's say, we all walking towards in Malaysia, right? Johor. We all walking towards Johor. When we move one step, we are one step closer to the Johor. That means day by day, the Bodhisattva, more closer to second bhumi. Then one day he reached to the second Then through practice of bodhicitta and emptiness, then he moved step by step. Then one day reached to the third, fourth, fifth, 10th, then Buddha Bhumi. And at that point, the path to all lower realms are blocked for him. Since the first Bhumi, he or she never born, never rebirth, take a rebirth in the lower realm, make sure due to the karma and due to the affliction. But still, they will happily take a rebirth in lower realm with the compassion, with the aspiration, right? So should not mix up, since he or she become bodhisattva, ultimate bodhisattva, never born in lower realms. Yes, they will born due to the aspiration, due to the merits, not due to the karma, not due to the afflictive emotions. We are totally, uncontrolled. Due to karma, we were born lower realm. Due to the afflictive emotion, we will born in the lower realm. The bodhisattva, not due to these two causes. Then at that point, all the groans of ordinary person cease for him. No more, be our ordinary beings. Then there's one question related to the, blocking the lower realms. So I will read the commentary. When the first groan is attained, at that point, for this bodhisattva, the path to all the lower realms are blocked or have come to an end. One might ask, after attaining the peak, remember the preparation path has of 4 levels. One might ask, after attaining the peak stage of the path of the preparation, isn't it is impossible for someone to fall into the lower realm due to the karma? If so, why is the ending of the path to the lower realm contingent upon the entering this ground? Somebody asked question. Actually, the bodhisattva, when he accomplished the peak, like a path, which is within the preparation path, he or she not going to born in lower realms. Then why is a contingent to put with the first Bhumi? I will read one more. One might ask, after attaining the peak stage of the path of preparation, isn't it impossible for someone to fall to the lower realms due to the karma? If so, why is the ending of the path to the lower realms contingent upon the attaining this ground? Then the reply, the fact that it's impossible to go to lower realms after attaining the peak stage is not because the seeds that lead to the him have been destroyed by the antidotes. Rather, it is because no adequate condition can cover anymore. Here on the first ground is contest this because their seeds have been destroyed by their antidotes. Simply, bodhisattva who reached to the the peak path within the the stage of the preparation path, he or she never going to born in the lower realms. Why? Because that time there's no enough condition to born in lower realm. That reason he or she is not going to born in the lower realms. But this is we put into the quality of the first bhumi, because when he or she reached to the first bhumi, he or she destroyed the seeds which are caused to born lower realms. Right? This is the difference. So these are the extensive or detailed explanation of the quality of the first bhumi. Now the conclusion. Presenting the quality together in summary, he is described clearly in terms of akin to the 8th area. So this one a bit difficult to understand for you guys, so we can just leave it. This is indeed not the meaning for the various sutta it says. Okay, now we go through the root text again. First, definition. The stanza 1.5. Through intense dedication with Samantha Batra's prayers, he abide in perfect joy. This is called the first ground. This is the definition or etymology of the first bhumi. Then also the quality. From that point on, having attained this ground, he is held by the name of Bodhisattva, mean name of ultimate Bodhisattva. He already titled by Bodhisattva when he accomplished Bodhicitta. Since reached to the first bhumi, he is named by ultimate Bodhicitta. Then he is born into the lineage of the Tathagata as well, because since he or she is sure to be Buddha. Such as he has utterly approached the three bonding factors. Due to bonding the three factors, since he or she never born into Lorium due to the karma. Even though when he reached to the peak stage, he or she never going to born into Lorium, but not due to the destroy the seeds, but due to the incomplete condition. For example, you have a fresh, healthy seeds. If you put the healthy seeds on the ground, no any moisture and water, the seeds cannot germinate the sprout due to the incomplete condition, right? Cannot germinate the seed, what you call sprout, due to the incomplete condition. Second, you burn the seeds. You burn the seed in fire, on fire. You put on the ground. you add water, you add soil, the seeds cannot germinate, the sprout, due to the destroyed the potential. Now you can see different. One cannot germinate the sprout because incomplete condition. Second cannot because destroy the seeds. The Bodhisattva who reached to the first bhumi, he or she destroyed the seeds to born in lower realm. Therefore, he or she cannot born lower realm due to the karma. He has utterly approached the three bonding factors. Such as Bodhisattva uphold the state of the supreme joy. Now you can see a lot of reason. Where is supreme joy? First, realize emptiness directly. Second, he fully got confidence will be Buddha. Third, he never born in lower realm due to the karma. Right? Therefore, he have such as great joyness. And due to this merit, and he or she has a power to shake this world. Then, since first bhumi, then day by day, you're going to step on the next ground. Stepping on from one ground to another, it travel perfectly to the highest one. At that point, the path to the all lower realms are blocked for him. At that point, all the grounds of the ordinary person cease for him. He is described clearly intense, akin to the 8th Arya. The next one, I think another important, even when abiding on the first ground of the mind of the full awakening, he suppresses those born from the sage speech and the Pratika Buddha. Right? When he reached to the first bhumi, he becomes so powerful that he can surprise, the hearer and celebralizer, Charvaka and Pratika Buddha. You must remember this one. He surpasses those born from the sage speech and the Pratika Buddha. Through the power of his merit, and his merit increase ever more. Now, how, the Bodhisattva, the ultimate Bodhisattva can surprise Pratika Buddha and Sarvaka? Why? The reason is next there. Through the power of his merit, through power of his merit, and his merit increase ever more, because he got very unique kind of merit, which is the union of ultimate bodhicitta and conventional bodhicitta. Therefore, he accumulated very powerful merit, and the merit increase, ever more. If you compare the merit, the merit accumulated by Sarvaka and Pratika Buddha and the ultimate Bodhisattva, you cannot compare. The Bodhisattva has a much great merit than the Sarvaka and Pratika Buddha. Due to that reason, the Bodhisattva, surprise the Charvaka and Pratika Buddha. Then the next sentence, when it gone afar, he will also surpass them by intelligence. There's a two different way can surprise the hearer and solitary realizer. One, due to the merit. Second is due to the intelligence. From first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, until sixth, the Bodhisattva cannot surprise particular Buddha and Sarvaka due to the intelligent power. Yes, due to the merit. When Bodhisattva reached to the seven bhumi, then Bodhisattva can surprise Pratika Buddha and Sarvaka through the intelligence, then through the wisdom. Next, we have to study why he can surprise by the merit, not the intelligence. Why Bodhisattva, when he reached to the seven bhumi, then he or she can surprise by the intelligence. Why? This is a very, very important point. Very important point. When we study this point, then you will know, oh, emptiness must be, very important to realize. So I will read few sentences from the commentary in order to have a more clear understanding. When a born afar, he will also surprise them by his intelligence. When these bodhisattvas on the first ground arrives, at that ground of gone afar, in addition to the outshining Charvaka and Pratika Buddhas through his conventional awakening mind, he will also surprise them, especially when the power of his intelligence. This is a state in the 10 grown sutra. So based on the 10 grown sutra, then Chandakirti said, until the 7 grown, the Bodhisattva only can surprise the Sarvaka and Pratika Buddha, not by intelligence. Since reached to the 7 bhumi, then the Bodhisattva can surprise the Hira and solitary realizer by intelligence, right? Intelligent. Then there's a kind of analogy. Children of the conquerors, it is like this. The son of the king born into the royal lineage, they bring the name of the royal. Because of the king's majesty, outshine the entire assembly of the minister. The intense he is born. He does not achieve that through his critical acumen by the power of his intelligence, right? Now you can see, let's say there's a very powerful king. And one day the king has like son. When the son born, all the minister, all the people have a very respect. Is very shine for them. Everybody respect not due to the intelligence, not because the children is very intelligent, because the children is the princess, right? Princess or princess of the king, right? So this I think we must remember here. So because many of you know the Tibetan culture, we have a tradition of Rinpoche, reincarnation, right? So when you see a little boy have a title of Rinpoche, you respect, which is very good. When we respect to the boy, we believe the boy has all the knowledge, which is his previous Rinpoche has. This is a very big mistake. We must respect to the child as a reincarnation of the previous Rinpoche, previous Guru, previous Lama. We should not think, oh, he has all the quality which is the previous Rinpoche has. This is a big mistake we have. That's like the king and the son of the king born into the royal lineage and bring the name of the royalty. Because of the king's majesty, outshine the entire assembly of the ministers. The intense he is born. He does not achieve this through his critical acumen by the power of intelligence. However, at that point, he reached maturity by exercising the power of his intelligence. He totally excites the activities of all the ministers. Then when he grow up, he study for many years, practice many years, then one day he really have the intelligence, power, understanding. Then again, people have a more respect. The second respect comes due to the knowledge, due to the experience, not just born in as a royal family, right? Therefore, the Bodhisattva who reached to the first Bhumi all the way to sixth, all the Bodhisattva can surprise hearer and solitary realizer due to the merit, because they has a very unique merit. When they reach to the seventh Bhumi, they got very unique kind of wisdom. Then again, they can surprise them due to the intelligence, like just born son in the lineage. Then after many years, he got all the knowledge. And now you can see different. The analogy here, however, then the quotation from the sutra, this also is come from sutra. O children of the Conquerors, the Bodhisattva, because of the greater power of his altruistic intention, outshone all Sravaka and Pratyeka Buddhas. So I think sometimes I feel the word, surprise, it's a bit like a negative. So Thupten Jimba, he's translated here, outshone. O children of the Conquerors, the Bodhisattva, because of the greater power of altruistic intention, outshone all Sravaka and Pratyeka Buddha. The intent is generate the awakening mind. This is not achieved through the critical acumen, but by the power of intelligence. However, the Bodhisattva on the seventh ground, since he abide with the greatness of the knowledge of the travel to object, totally excite all the works of the Sarvaka and Pratyeka Buddhas. So now you can see the true analogy. One, king and like baby son. Then the son grow up, have all the knowledge. First, we respect as a, like son of the king. Then when he got the power, then we respect him as a actual king, have the power. Same Bodhisattva, first to six, they have a very unique merit. Due to the merit, they outshone Charvaka and Pratyeka Buddha. Since seven Bhumi, they outshone due to the intelligence. Please remember this one, because next time we will study how they can, surprise through the intelligence. Okay, root text. when it gone afar, he will also suppress or outshine. I think outshine is much better. Outshine them by his intelligence. So I think everybody have an experience about the meaning of surprise or meaning of the outshine meaning. For example, so you and other person are, be candidate to be teacher. You and other person are the candidate for a teacher, be a teacher. So both of you sit side by side in front of the who did test for you. When you sit next to the person, you knew the person has a much better knowledge, better experience, very profound knowledge. You feel very nervous. You feel nervous. You really cannot really directly can see the person. Right? That means the person outshine you. The person surprise you. Not, talk to whatever, you feel it. Sometimes other person is compared with other person, you are much better. You have a more profound knowledge. Suddenly you feel, you can see the person is very nervous. Nervous. It's similarly when the Sarvaka and Patika Buddha stay next to the ultimate Bodhisattva, first, second, whoever, they feel, very kind of nervousness. That means outshine or surprise, the meaning. For the next class, we particularly need to study about when at gone affair, he will also surprise them by his intelligence. Okay, so next, you can, if you have the commentary, you can read more about how the Bodhisattvas surprise Charvaka and Patika Buddha by intelligence. So that time, what we need to learn, except the Pasangika, the rest of the schools has a different view. The post-selflessness, subtle selflessness, and emptiness. Then the Sarvaka Buddha need only realize the gross selflessness. Patika Buddha realized the subtle selflessness. Bodhisattva realized emptiness. That means these three has a different view to meditate in order to achieve liberation, in order to achieve Buddhahood. That means gross selflessness, subtle selflessness, and emptiness. From the Pasangika point of view, from Nagarjuna said, whether you Hinayan practitioner or Mahayan practitioner, everybody must realize emptiness, have to realize emptiness. That means Charvaka, Patika, Bodhisattva, all they meditate on emptiness. That means Nagarjuna try to prove your view is mistake. In order to achieve liberation, you need to realize emptiness, only emptiness. In order to achieve Buddhahood, you need to realize emptiness and bodhicitta. Next, Nagarjuna going to approve, the Charvaka and Patika Buddha must realize emptiness. He proved, through the quotation from the sutra, then through the logics. So when we study this kind of topic, what we need to learn? I said we should not be shipper, right? Shopper. We should not be shopper. We should not be cashier in bank. The person who are, like treasury or cashier in bank, during the day, he can count billions of dollars. In the evening, when you go back home, maybe he or she doesn't have any money in hand, right? We are look like that. We study Pramana, Prajna Paramita, Abhidharma, 7 point, advertisement. We practice all, the teaching. When you pick point, you are set. When you look inward, how many experience, how much experience you have. Even though we don't have a really, solid, pure, taking a refuge. Pure refuge can be achieved or can be generated within the 2 causes. One, sense of fear about samsara or cause of samsara. Here, but we don't have a fear. We don't want to born in the lower realm, but we don't have a very strong sense of fear about the lower realms in samsara. Second, we must have a very strong conviction, strong faith and belief into triple gem. This triple gem will save me from the lower realms. We don't have the basis, which is refuge, pure refuge. We don't have a solid, refuge into triple gem. Second, we know we talk about millions of times. Negative karma, affirmation, ignorance, millions of times. I repeat millions of times. Also, you hear, you also repeat millions of times. When we think about karma, how much negative karma we can reduce, how much positive karma we have accumulated. Yes, we have accumulated in the morning, we destroy afternoon. If we accumulate afternoon, we destroy evening. Accumulate evening, destroy tomorrow morning. That means income and outgoing is equal. Therefore, please, everybody should not be shipper. Try to be owner of the ship. Should not be like a cashier, treasury in bank. Try to be owner of the bank. If you are owner of the bank, you can count the money, you have the money. Right? Therefore, it's not many people say, oh, we have a very bad habit. Also, many of our Dhamma friends who come to see me, they seek advice. When they seek advice, I say, oh, you must do this. They say, yeah, I know it's good, but it's very, very difficult. It's slowly. We have that habit to say, oh, slowly. It's not easy. I do slowly. They slowly become very slow. Slow become nothing. You should not think it's very difficult. You should not think I will try. You should not think I do slowly and slowly. Right? Never. You must think I will do today. Since today, I try to have a pure refuge. Since today, I must have a very strong conviction about karma. Since today, I always try to cultivate bodhicitta. Since today, whenever I have a free time, I think about emptiness. I wish and I want to realize emptiness. That means that slowly, you can have actually bodhicitta, you can have, otherwise, we talk about 10 bhumi, first bhumi, second bhumi. If you just, we are pointing outside. You should not be like that. Okay, so we have another, I'm not sure, half hour. Any question? Otherwise, we talk is no good. I'm not sure how much you really understand. Have a conversation, please. Have a chit chat.
Yeah, Dhamma brothers and sisters.
Please feel free. Yeah, you can share your experience. You can share, oh, when I practice this, I have these difficulties. Just feel free, feel free. I won't scold you. So when we have the dictation, what called oral testing, then I will scold you. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please feel free.
Yes. You spoke about the innate and the acquired self-grasping. But the innate self-grasping, does it has ignorance and imprints of ignorance, or does it just are the imprints?
Can you repeat again?
The innate self-grasping. Does it exist? The ignorance and imprints.
Yes.
Or does it just is it just another word for imprints of ignorance?
Okay. The first, all sentient beings, human, non-human beings, all sentient beings has the innate ignorance. All sentient beings possess the imprints which is left by the innate ignorance. Clear? Then second one, you can say, the artificial or acquired ignorance. Somebody has, somebody doesn't have. That means somebody has a both innate ignorance, imprints of the innate ignorance, then acquired ignorance, imprints of the ignorance. These two are totally different, two different ignorance. Yes. Clear or not so clear? If so not clear, you can ask more precisely.
Yeah, my question is the innate ignorance. Is it only imprints, or is it also ignorance?
Oh, yeah. Ignorance means always kind of mind or mental factor. It's a consciousness, awareness. Ignorance means always innate, or the artificial one, or always is a consciousness. Ignorance must be consciousness. Okay? The imprints never be consciousness. It is kind of, potential which is left by the ignorance. For example, usually I use the garlic and the smell of the garlic. When you have garlic in your cup, you have a garlic, you have the smell of the garlic. When you throw away the garlic, there's no garlic, still the smell is there. So the imprints is look like a smell of the garlic. No garlic, still there's imprints. Therefore, imprints of the ignorance are totally contradict phenomena. Because ignorance is consciousness. Imprint is the non-asserted formation. Yes.
Thank you.
And also, all of you must remember, imprints in the potential. Other school, the meaning is exactly same. According to Pasangika, imprints of the ignorance, the seeds of the ignorance is different. You just keep in your mind. The next time we can, after I think few weeks, then we can study more clearly about differences between imprints of the ignorance and the seeds of the ignorance. Clear? Okay. Next question.
Geshe-la, can you please explain the differences between a stream enterer, one's returner, non-returner, and arhat?
Oh. There's a 4 arhat, right? Entering, Yunju, returning, non-returning. That means this one a bit difficult to understand for you guys. So is this 4 arhat, they explain in terms of the Hinayan path. Hinayan path. Enter means they enter into the path to liberation. You know, that means same thing. First, accumulation path of preparation is not really entering into liberation. Since same path, and the Hinayan practitioner actually enter into the path to liberation. That means entering. Returning means even though they enter into the path to liberation, but they will born again in the desire realms. They come back. After they pass away, they will born again desire realm. That means returning. Not going into formless, returning. Then not non-returning means they will take a rebirth, but they never reborn in the desire realm. That means return, non-returning based on the desire realm. Yeah. Clear? Returning means come back again in the desire realms. Non-returning means they never come back on the desire realms. Yeah. I think you asked this question last time, right?
I think it's a new student, I think.
Okay. So far, yeah, this is the gross explanation. Entering, return, non-returning. Non-return means never come back again the desire realms. Desire realm, but they will take a rebirth in the form and formless.
Okay.
Next question.
Yeah, Geshe-la, so this Dharma students has a questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So he or she listen to others' problem and difficulties and try to give advice, and at some time he or she also cannot sleep the whole night. The mind cannot settle down. So could you give any advice? He or she has tried chanting.
Okay, I'm not so clear. For example, somebody asks, advice to you, then you give advice, but you are talking about you cannot sleep or other cannot sleep.
The person, she cannot sleep.
Huh? Actually, she cannot sleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is when you, for us, for everybody, not only the person who asks question, for you, everybody, when people has a problem, definitely, your friends ask you advice, ask you certain, suggestion. Before you advise, before you give advice, before you give suggestion, you really need to know the problem, not the surface level, go more deeper, try to research from the root. From the root. If you just, listen the problem on the surface level, give advice, the advice cannot be, useful for the person. Go more deeper and try to understand the root of the problem and difficulties. Then you can give the advice according to the problems. Second, when you give advice, Second important, you must be look like a doctor. When doctor meet a serious patient, the doctor can deal with the problem with a very calm mind. When the patient is recover from the problem or sickness, the doctor feel very happy. When the patient cannot recover, the patient really say, died. The doctor feel, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot really save the person, but the doctor never feels so upset. They never feel very unhappiness. You have to be like a doctor with a good, pure mind, with a compassionate mind. You give advice. You should not take their problem as your problem. No, never. You should not take their problem as your problem. You must think how I can solve the problem, how I can help my friend. Because you cannot sleep because you take their problem as your own problem. Therefore, you cannot sleep. Then if you cannot sleep, due to the certain condition, chanting is very good. But most effective one, do the breathing meditation. You sleep on the bed, you sit on the chair, whatever position you sleep, doesn't matter. Do the breathing meditation. Breathe in and out. Then slowly, I say slowly, okay, this you must do slowly. Breathe in and out. Then inhale shorter, exhale longer. Then shorter, longer, shorter, longer, shorter. Finally, your inhales become very short. Then suddenly, you can sleep. You can sleep. And also another problem, because when we say, oh, I cannot sleep, mean when you put your head on your pillow, you can check your neck, your head little bit looking up like this, sleeping like this, pillow, you're looking up like this. Then you're thinking too much, then you cannot sleep. Therefore, you need to bend your neck little bit, bend in what? Bend, then easy to sleep. Because when you think too much, definitely your head is like a little bit up, like on the pillow, you're like thinking too much. You bend, you cannot think too much. Then you can sleep. The last advice, if you cannot sleep, then take the sleeping pill. Okay, don't take the sleeping pills. It's a short term is good. It's a long term is very, very, very bad. Okay, next question.
Yeah, Geshe-la, could you please teach us step by step on how to meditate on emptiness?
Okay, so this one I think we must go next class, next maybe Saturday.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, short explanation. I said, in order to realize emptiness, yes, we need to study about the Madhyamaka, the logics and reasonings. Very simple way. Just look around. Oh, when you look around, you can see, oh, there's a book, or there's a chair, there's a car, there's a road. You can see everything. You look around, you try to understand how you can think about all the things. Yeah, there's a book. So second step, you look more closely. Oh, there's a book. Where's the book? The book is on the table. Oh, which one is book? The cover, the first page, the second page. If you analyze page by page, all the way to end, then you feel, when I analyze, I cannot find any of the pieces, any of the parts of the book is as a book. Then think again, you look more closely. Oh, no. All the pieces all the parts of the books are not book. Maybe the all together must be a book. Then where's the all together? All together is on the above, in the middle, in the below, in the center, on the side. Where's the all together exists? Then there's such as you cannot see all together is a book. Then the shape of the book must be a book, right? Remember the chariot. The shape is a book. Then check where's the shape. Shape has many parts. In front of the shape of the book, behind, shape of the book, side of the book. Then also you cannot say all the parts of the book is book or books. The shape of the book is book. The combination books and cover is the book. You cannot find. That means then what does mean book? Mean there's a thing all together. There's a thing, right? Page, cover, there's thing. Then as a human being, we just label this a book. Mean book is established by our thoughts. That we established by our thoughts. Then we say this is a name of the book, right? Then established by thought. Without thought, there's no concept. Without concept, there's no book. That means everything established, labeled by our own name, mind. Nothing exists as an independent. Then you just meditate on few minutes on the book. That means book exists, not exist independently. You can say openly, you say, book exists independently, right? Book. Then the reflection on the moon on the water, or reflection your face on the mirror. Many people use mirror in the bathroom and toilet. When you go bathroom, you just look at the mirror. You can see, my face is there. Actually, it's opposite. When you try to hold, touch your, the right ear on the mirror, it's touching on the left, right? Then how my reflection appears on the mirror? Two conditions. One, there's a mirror. Second, my face. The face just appeared to there. Then the thing exists merely based on causes and condition. Without causes condition, nothing can be there. Without the mirror, there cannot any reflection. Right? Then I think you listen, teaching from His Holiness many times. So His Holiness has a few quotation related to the emptiness. You listen, a few times the teaching. Try to memorize the verses, and you can chant. Yeah. So this one we can discuss more next time. Good. Is okay?
Yes, thank you, Geshe.
Okay, next question, please.
Yeah. When an arhat decides to enter the Mahayana path, at which part of the Mahayana path does the arhat enter? Because the arhat is liberated from samsara. He does not have bodhicitta, but wisdom that realizes emptiness.
Very good question. Thank you so much. Okay, first, everybody must aware or remember, arhat can be Buddha. Arhat can be only the, therefore because enlightened being, fully enlightened being, enlightened being. Fully enlightened being means Buddha. Arhat can be Buddha, can be sentient beings. So you are asking, the question, someone, enter into the Hinayan path, go through the 4 paths, finally reach to the no more learning path, then they achieve the liberation, right? Extremely the blissful state. Then it's not easy at all to enter into, Mahayana path. Not easy at all. There's two reasons. Reason number one, when he or she has a gross body, still, we can discuss, we can communicate with the Arhat. When the Arhat, abandon this gross body, then the Arhats possess very subtle body. The subtle body, nobody can communicate with the Arhat. Only Buddha. Only Buddha can communicate to the Arhat. Buddha asked them to awake. You haven't achieved your own benefit. You haven't achieved actually, the what we call Arhat state. Buddha asked them awake and generate bodhicitta. But they can awake, they can listen bodhicitta, but they cannot practice. Because many years, they just remain and abide in the bliss, very bliss state. And again, back to the blissness. So your question, where they can start? They must start from the first part, which is the part of the Mahayana part of the accumulation, then preparation, then seeing part. Then have to go through the 5 Mahayana parts. Then you will ask question, they already eliminated the afflictive emotion. Then what they can eliminate during the seeing part, meditation part? Then this answer you will find on the commentary by Lama Tsongkhapa. Also, maybe we will discuss in the future. Yes, it must enter from the first part, which is accumulation part of the Mahayana accumulation parts. Then preparation, then seeing. Yeah. Yes, you are right. Somebody asked, they just enter from the Arhat to the, I think, the 8th Bhumi. Somebody said like that. Yes, this answer for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Enter from the first part, which is accumulation part of the Mahayana.
Thank you, Geshe La.
Yeah,
天空师兄，你可以发问了。
有问题吗？没问题。
你可以开始发问了。
Okay, now is no more question. Then we can stop our class today here. Again.
对，我刚才不好意思葛西师傅好我想请教一下葛西师傅和各位的师兄们，我说出来，请大家就别见笑，因为我有一个问题，就是有时候我之前好像发现一个问题，就是说我的起心动念的时候莫名其妙。就好像说，我心中想起了，就是说，升起了一个是说，肯德基这个念头，但是我就不是很喜欢吃肯德基，我也从来没有想过我要吃肯德基。但这个念头一升起来的时候，我要吃肯德基，然后我就很奇怪，然后我就先安住，再看一下是什么情况，然后我就安住一下，然后就。数那个呼吸法1、2、3、4，但是我心中想说我要吃肯德基，然后我就跟他，就是说就抗拒， 就特别辛苦，我就很奇怪，然后就真正差不多半天时间的时候，我还是失败了，我就跑去买肯德基，吃了之后，这个念头就完全给消失了。然后我就说我是不喜欢吃肯德基，但是他为什么突然之间说我要吃肯德基？然后就是不是我就是很有那种我那个我字啊，是不是形成那个很严重的他的我字？但是我就很惭愧，就是说有一种很罪恶感，就是有这种念头，就升级过一次这种念头，莫名其妙。然后我就分析了一下，就是这样的情况，所以说请教他葛西师傅，我应该接下来如果下一次遇到这种情况的话，好像说我应该怎么去应付？不是说我想要吃肯德基，但是我为什么我要吃，我也搞不清楚，所以。就是那个事件的时候，我就开始觉得特别苦恼。
Yeah, so in short, the question is for
不好意思，真的惭愧，让大家才见笑了。
Yeah, okay, thank you. Also, the questions briefly is about he has this random thought that come into his mind to think of Kentucky Fried Chickens. So he is not particularly a lover, but the thought just came to him. So he tried to suppress that thought by doing the breathing meditation, but that doesn't help, but in fact, the thought's even more intense. So he finally gave in and he grabbed he go and buy the Kentucky Fried Chickens. While he had it, so he feel relief and the thought disappear. So he feel very guilty and wish to have Geshe-la advice on how to handle these situations. Is it because of his self-cherishing mind that causes it? Or, yeah, so would like Geshe-las to help.
Very interesting question. Thank you so much. Session06. Okay. This one I'm not sure. Mingyur Rinpoche said, if something often come to your mind, you cannot stop. He said, you should not try to stop. You visualize more and try to visualize more and more. They cannot visualize. I'm not sure this one. For my case, what I do, for example, I go early morning walking. So I have two options. Option number one, I go to here to Lavender all the way to Marina Bay, come back. Then I know I cannot drink any tea, coffee because all the coffee shop is closed. All the way to Marina, between there's no tea and coffee shop, right? If I don't want to, I feel I want to drink something, then I go that direction. Then I know I cannot drink because there's nothing. Second, when you feel that Kentucky chicken come in your mind, that means you feel a bit hungry. You feel hungry, they will come. So when you feel hungry, you must eat something. You eat, bread. You eat, like a noodle. Whatever you eat. When you eat, you fulfill. Then there's no hungry is, fulfilled. Then the Kentucky chicken won't come. Second, I think everybody has a very strong craving to eat very particular food. I know someone really like very particular food. Without eating this food, you cannot sleep. That time you must think the bad consequence of eating this particular food. For example, laksa noodle. Many people love to eat laksa noodle, but it's very unhealthy. One is very oily. Second is have a lot of cream. Third is a lot of like a coconut powder. It's very unhealthy. If you have a very strong, kind of craving to eat thing, the bad consequence. And the Kentucky chicken is very deep fry. It costs a lot of money. Inside chicken is very small piece, right? Just small piece. but output they put so many things that fry, it look very big. When you eat, it's very tasty because deep fry. If you eat, very deep fried food, it's also very bad for your health. You just think the negative consequence, eating dead and this food, then your mind can be changed. First, you must eat something, fulfill your hungry. You want, come to Kentucky. You're hungry, you don't eat anything, definitely then the Kentucky chicken come in your mind very often. The second one, think about the bad consequence of eating, Kentucky chicken or laksa, whatever. Yes. Okay, so today we can stop our class here. Thank you so much, all of you, to attend the class. Also, thank you so much. I very much appreciate, all of you ask the question. So make sure you apply the Dharma in your daily life, particularly when you have a big problem, lot of difficulties, please apply Dharma. And also this day, people are very kind of scared about the COVID because number is increasing, decreasing, increasing. We cannot predict what will happen. The most important, keep the social distancing, wear your mask. If nobody around, you just take out your mouth, you walk around. If someone come closer, you just use your mask and you often wash. Not, I can see everybody, many people use the hand sanitizer every minute. Before you eat, you wash. Before you touch your hand, your mouth and nose, you wash. Otherwise, no need to wash every 5-10 minutes, right? That means be safe. Then you are no need to worry about the COVID-19. And also this day, we have a few people who are, kind of supporter of Tibetan Buddhist Center. They are affected by COVID-19. Also, we dedicate for them to, recover from the COVID-19. So at the end, we dedicate all our merit we have accumulated during our Dharma class. Also, the merit we have accumulated since beginning this time. First, we dedicate the merit for world peace, peace in every countries. Free all the countries from the wars, conflicts, natural disaster, sickness, and disease. Second, we dedicate the merit for achieving Buddhahood to benefit all sentient beings. Last, we dedicate the merit to benefit all the donor and supporter of Tibetan Buddhist centers, because we're going to celebrate the Buddha Descendant Day on the 27th. Today we have 113, the orchid flowers. Also, we're going to have a lot of candlelight offering, water lamp light offering. So we dedicate the merit to benefit those people. Jamba Bave Jedara Kemba Dang Gundo Sambo Deyan Dejen Deda Gunye Jesu Daro Jengewa Deda Tamje Ragu Dusum Shekbe Yawa Tamje Gyongwa Kala Chodo Ngaba Dage Keve Zawa Digun Zambo Jeje Radu Ngwa Ye. Thank you so much. Then have a happy Sunday. Thank you.